Hi boys and girls, welcome back. I'm sorry I've not been here for a little while. I had a little break from school for a couple of weeks, so I haven't been doing as many stories. So I thought I'd come back and do our first one for this week, which is going to be this one. It's called Boris Goes Camping, and it's by Carrie Weston and Tim Warnes. Where do you think he's going? What might he be taking with him? He's got lots in his backpack, hasn't he? Over here, something round his neck. Do you know the name of those? They're called binoculars, aren't they? They help you to see things that are in the distance, far away, like that. I wonder where Boris is going camping. Here he is. Oh, look, he's got a little net in his hand. I wonder what he might do with that net. The day that Miss Cluck was taking the class camping, everyone was very excited. When Miss Cluck said that it was almost time to set off, all the animals squealed with delight. Oh, can you see them all? There's Boris. Here's another one down here. There's a little fox and a chicken and a little rabbit. Letitia the rabbit carried her butterfly net. Maxwell the mole clutched his teddy. The little mice each had a basket. Fergus the foxglove was given the map. And Boris was put in charge of... What do you think he might be in charge of? Absolutely everything else. Look at the size of his rucksack. He's carrying everything for all his friends. For Boris was an enormous, hairy, scary grizzly bear. But he was also rather kind and helpful. "Bravo," said Miss Cluck, as Boris heaved the huge bag on his back. "What would we do without you?" Miss Cluck and her class set off through the woods. Letitia chased after butterflies. Fergus puzzled over the map. Maxwell got Teddy stuck up a tree, and then the mice struggled with their baskets. Oh no, look, poor Teddy stuck up a tree. Eventually Boris caught up with them all. Poor Miss Cluck blew her whistle. "This really won't do," she said. "We must stay together." Then Boris had an idea. What the little mice are saying. "But we're tired." He found room for everything in his bag, even the tired mice. Look, there they are in his little pocket just here. "Bravo, Boris," cheered his friends. Before long, they came to the little bridge. Boris and Letitia dropped twigs into the stream. "Come on, Boris!" Then everyone rushed to the other side of the bridge to see whose would come out first. That game's called Pooh Sticks, if you've ever played it. But somehow Boris forgot about the bag on his back. Somehow Maxwell's teddy went splash into the water. Somehow the mice managed to cling on. Maxwell let out an enormous wail. "Oh, Boris!" he cried. Poor Boris felt so clumsy and ashamed. Miss Cluck carefully leaned over the bridge with Letitia's butterfly net, but it was no good. The teddy was floating away. Oh no, poor Maxwell Mole. Boris decided it was time to be very brave. What do you think he might do? Have a look. He leapt into the water. Splash! All the way up to his knees. "Hurry, Boris!" Boris scooped Teddy safely out of the water. Now there were 2 dripping wet bears. "Teddy!" And Maxwell hugged them both. "Boris is the biggest bravest, best bear, said Maxwell. Bravo, Boris! Bravo, Boris, agreed Miss Cluck. Now, let's set up camp before there are any more accidents. What do you think they might set up at their campsite? What do you stay in if you're going to camp? Does anyone know? Oh, can we guess what this one might be? Usually it's a tent, but that looks a little bit different. Do you know the name of that one? Let's find out. The animals gathered around while Miss Cluck explained how to build a teepee. This is a teepee. It sounded very easy. Letitia and Maxwell collected long sticks. The mice chewed off some lengths of rope. Nibble, nibble. Boris helped Fergus spread out the canvas. Then they all tried to put it together, but it was not easy at all. Oh dear. Oh look, they got there in the end. They persevered. That's one of our school values, isn't it? Perseverance. They've persevered and they've put up the little teepee. Once the teepee was up, the fun really began. Miss Cluck got out a new box of chalks and let everybody draw on the teepee. It looked wonderful. Boris put Maxwell's teddy on the top to dry. And off they went to pick berries for supper. Miss Cluck showed them which ones were good to eat. Boris carried all the full basket while the other animals hurried excitedly back to camp. But they were in for a big shock. Can anybody guess what might have happened? What might have happened back at camp? That's given them a big shock. For their wonderful teepee wasn't quite so wonderful anymore. Someone had drawn Miss Cluck's face. Someone had pulled down the sticks. And someone was going to be in big trouble. Now I wonder who it was. Any guesses? Can you think who it might have been? Miss Cluck was very, very angry indeed. She marched straight up to the bulging canvas, reached underneath and pulled out 2 very naughty little wolf cubs. The cubs wriggled and struggled. Do your parents know you're out in the woods alone? Asked Miss Cluck in her firmest voice. We don't care, yelled one of the cubs rudely. That's not very nice, is it? Our daddy is the big bad wolf. Grrr. He's much bigger than you, said the other even more rudely. And he eats chickens for supper, boomed Boris with a great big berry-stained grin. Yikes, it's a grizzly bear! Help, it's a hungry bear! Oh, phew, it's Boris Bear, said Miss Cluck. The naughty little wolf cubs turned on their heels and fled. Boris was most confused. Oh, Boris, what a brave bear you are, smiled Miss Cluck. Now, let's put the teepee back together. Bravo for hairy, scary Boris! That evening, Boris and his friends ate a supper of toasted marshmallows and berries until the sun went down. Then Miss Cluck got out her guitar and they sang songs under the stars. Oh, they're singing, Come My Ah, My Lord. Oh, the mice nibbling on something and they're saying, yummy. Boris felt his eyelids grow heavy. That means he felt very tired. It was tiring being a big brave bear. I think I might go to bed now, he yawned. Sleep tight. Good night, Boris. Night, night. Boris snuggled down happily inside the teepee and was soon snoring. A little later, Fergus, then Letitia, Maxwell with Teddy, the mice and Miss Cluck crept into the teepee. Do you think there's going to be room for them all? There wasn't much room, but nobody minded a bit. After all, everyone had a nice, soft place to sleep. Oh, I bet it'd be comfy sleeping on a big grizzly bear like Boris, wouldn't it? Oh, look, there we are, all snoring. Even Mrs. Cluck. Bravo, Boris, she whispered as she fell asleep. And that was our story of Boris Goes Camping. Have you ever been camping, boys and girls? Did you maybe go camping in a tent? I wonder what you did. Did you make a little fire like Boris and roast some marshmallows? Roasted marshmallows are delicious. Sometimes we could maybe do them on a little candle if you've got a grown-up with you to help. They're delicious. Right, now I'm going to check whether you've been doing good listening to my story. So, I've got a question. My first question is, let me have a think back. What was Boris wearing? That's giving you a clue looking at the front cover. I'm going to hide it now. What was Boris wearing around his neck? Do you remember? Can you make them like this with your hands? They're for looking somewhere far away. What was their special name? Binoculars. Well done. Let's have a look. Right, now. What did Letitia take with her to help her catch butterflies? What was it called? It was something beginning with a Can you remember? A net. Can we sound it out? Are you ready? Net. Well done. Right, another question. Who came and messed up the wonderful teepee? Can we remember? It was someone a bit rude, wasn't it? It was those two naughty little foxes. Well done. Right, one final question. Let me have a look. What did the animals roast on the fire? Something that was very delicious. Should we have a look? Begins with a Let's have a peek. Oh, just down here. Oh, there it is. Boris has got one in his hand. They had marshmallows. Well done. That was wonderful listening. Well done, boys and girls. Now I will see you really soon for another story. Bye-bye.